Okay, we'd like to begin. We're finishing Masechta Chagiga Bez Hashem Yisbarach with Daf Chav Ches Amid Beis. Chav Ches Amid Beis. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lines from the bottom. Rabbi Yochanan. Eiman Nachmim Rishoye Loimar Davar Ad Sheyiftach Avel. The Menachem, the ones who come to Menachem Avel, they're not able to go ahead and be Menachem and say anything until the Avel begins. The Avel has to go ahead and begin opening his mouth before. Okay, this is describing Eiv. Can you please be quiet? Shnemar, the pasuk says regarding Eiv. Achrei came Pasach Eiv Espiu, and first Eiv began talking, and Eiv, of course, was the one who was in Avelus. Then it says his friend Vayan Alipas Hatemani. His friend Alipas Hatemani. He then what? He began. Amra Avo Minayin La'avel Shemesiv Beroish. How do you know the Avel sits at Beroish? How do you know he sits in the head table? Shnemar Evcha Darkam ve'Eshev Roish ve'Eshkon Kimelech Bagdud Kasher Avelim Yenachem. So now he sits like a melech. The melech sits in front, but it says Yenachem. So it's mashma from the pasuk who sits Beroish, the Menachamim, the ones who are being Menachem Avel. Says the Gemara Kashi, Yenachem Achrina mashma. Mashma not the Avel himself. It's mashma the people who are coming to Menachem. So Rav Nachman by Yitzchak Yinochem Kesiv. Don't read it as Yenachem, read it as Yinochem. The PL going on the one that is being comforted. Mazutra Amar Mehacha. He brings a different pasuk. The pasuk says Visar Mizrach Sruchim. The pasuk says Visar Mizrach Sruchim, and Rashi brings Visar means the lashon of Sar. It's interchangeable. The Samich and the Sin. Sin would mean Sar, a chief, right? Mirzach is the mourner. So the Mizrach, the mourner, is a Sar. He's a chief. He sits at what? At the head. He sits in front. Says the Gemara, Makoyim Beroish. No, Vaita, excuse me. So I'm Rav Chama Barchanina Minayin LeChasen Shemesiv Beroish. How do you know that the Chasen also sits in front? Now you say Chasen Daim LaMelech. It's interesting. It doesn't bring Chasen Daim LaMelech. It's a Shnemar Ki Chasen Yekahin Pe'er. Makoyim Beroish, just like the Kohen is Beroish. He gets first, right? Where is Chaim? Sitting in the back somewhere, right? Af Chasen Beroish. So the Chasen Beroish. The Kohen Guf Minolan. How do you know the Kohen goes Beroish, fellas? The Tanner of Rabbi Shmuel. It says V'kidashtoi. It says regarding the Kohen they should V'kidashtoi L'chol Davish B'kedusha. That the Kohen L'chol Davish B'kedusha, we go ahead right and we elevate him. So for example, the V'toyach Berishain, the Kohen goes ahead right. He gets called to the Torah first. Ulevarich Rishain, and by benching, the Kohen benches first. V'litein Manu Yafa, the first piece of Kishka goes to Chaim Lats, right? Amar Reb Chanina says Reb Chanina. Kasha Yitzias Neshama Min Aguf Kitzipurei V'Pi Aveshet. Now Leilenu is speaking about death, and death is like a knot that's being pulled out of the hull of a ship. So you imagine it's very, very tight and you're pulling it. Says another opinion, worse than that, Rabbi Yochanan, Kipituri B'Pi Veshet. Kipituri is a very strong rope that goes ahead and connects two boats. And that's, you're pulling them out. So yesterday we had a Gemara without describing they came back after their death. They came back. Rava came back, and they described what Rav Nachman, they described what they went through. So one said they went through like a needle, and the other one said like a piece of hair taken out. That's by tzaddikim, and that's called the misa of neshika. That's the misa usually it's very interesting. We say the kiss of death. Everything is stolen from the Gemara, guys. Everything is stolen. You speak about the kiss of death. It's because Misa is Neshika. Moshe, Miriam, we had the Gemara. Misa is Neshika. So therefore, what we're describing now is not the person who dies Misa Neshika, but a person who dies in a normal way, and not a person of the stature of a huge Talmud Chacham. V'amar Reb Levi by Chayasa, hanifta min ameis. Someone takes leave of a mace. Lo yoyma lo. You shouldn't say to him Lech Lishalom. Don't say to him Lech Lishalom. Go 4-piece. Lech Bishalom. Go Bishalom. I guess that's also where they steal rest in peace come from, right? And then they take everything from us. R.I.P. Right? Lech Bishalom. Hanifta min achai lo yoyma lo. If someone takes leave of the chai lo yoyma lo Lech Bishalom. Should not say Lech Bishalom. Lech Lishalom. No, so we always be makbid. Okay, there are different opinions. Here's my take on things. When you say leich, when you speak to a mace, right, you're speaking about one specific area. You want him to be in peace. So leich, go, and bishalom, wherever you go to, be bishalom. But when you're speaking to a live person, you don't want to limit it to just the place he's going to. You want to extend it to what? To everywhere. So we say leich lishalom. Wherever you go should be in peace. Wherever you should go should be. And that would be the lashon of leich lishalom. And the very interesting Gemara, says the Gemara Shenemar, it says Va'atab, says by Avram Avinu, V'ata tavo yal avasecha b'shalom. You Avram, you'll come out avasecha b'shalom, and you'll the pasuk says you'll be nifta b'seva toiva, b'seva toiva. So therefore it's leich b'shalom. Hanifta min achai lo yom lecha leich l'shalom. If someone takes leave from a chai, should not say what leich b'shalom elo leich l'shalom. Shari David Shamal Avshalom has permission for David to go, and he wants to start his rebellion. David is unaware, and he says to him, Leich b'shalom. So the Welt asks, why is David cursing him? And David knows this halacha, Leich b'shalom. So again, sometimes the Kodesh Baruch Hu, you say things Baruch HaKodesh. You say things like Avram Avinu by the Akedah said, "V'nishtachava, we will go, v'nashuv, and we will return." And in fact, they did. He was being misnava that it did come back. So therefore, and Ben Yoyada says that he was saying this. And what happened? Says the Gemara, he went, and we know Avshalom went underneath the tree, and his look inside. He went underneath the tree, and his hair got stuck, and he got killed. He got the darts thrown in his heart. Yisro Shamal Moshe. Yisro said to Moshe, "Leich lishalayim." He said, "Leich lishalayim." Holach v'tzliach. He went, and he was successful. But Moshe had tremendous hatzlacha. Nobody got stuck on taking Ben Yisrael and Mitzrayim when Yisrael let him go after he was staying in Midian with Yisrael. From Av Levi, now Kol Yotzim Beis HaKnesses LeBeis HaMedrash. Anyone who leaves the Beis HaKnesses LeBeis HaMedrash. Again, they used to have two places. They had a Beis HaMedrash, that's where they would learn. Beis HaKnesses, that's where they would daven. We do both, right? So anyone goes from the Beis HaKnesses LeBeis HaMedrash, or Mi Beis HaMedrash LeBeis HaKnesses. They'll be sochtim to go ahead and Mekabel HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Why? Shenemar, it says, Yelchu Meichol Chol. You should continue to go from Meichol, from one darga to another darga. So you go from learning to davening to learning. It's brought down the halacha, fellas, that Bisman Hazeh, where we don't have what, we daven in the same place, that after you daven, you should learn. Or you should learn and then daven. And that's the source for doing both in the same locale. Yelchu Meichol Chol, Yireh El Kim B'tzion. So we finished the Masechta. So I just like to put this together a little bit. He's finished the Masechta El Megalchen. It's a very sad parak. You're dealing with death, constant death, all the time. So there's a Tosfos, fellas, Tosfos on Chav Chesed Amud Beis, top Tosfos. The last words of the Mishnah, not the Gemara. The last words of the Mishnah are Bila Hamavis LeNetzach. Maves, death should be swallowed up forever. HaKadosh Baruch Hu should erase tears from everyone's face. Good. That's the way we conclude. That's the way we conclude the Mishnayos. Says Tosfos, Bilas Hamavis, big chiddush. Kedei l'sayim b'devar hatov. The reason we say that is that we should end the Masechta with what? With good news. That there's going to be a time where Maves will be swallowed up. Mishum the Moed Katan. Who saif say the Moed. This is not the 5 towns required here. The Moed Katan, who saif say the Moed. Moed Katan, guys, is the end of say the Moed. In other words, the Tosfos is Shita. In other words, you begin Yavamis tomorrow, guys. According to Tosfos, you'll be beginning Yavamis tomorrow, right? Umay Taima, Mitaritz Harav Yaakov Mirolins. How the Askel say the Noshim b'tesv of Noshim. Now it's a very good, it's well a kasha that they ask, like the following: if you begin say the Noshim, what Masechta would you begin with? Kedushin. You get married, and then you have you created Ishus, right? And then you go to get and you go or Ksubis. But again, what do you begin with? Yavamis. And for Yavamis to go ahead and take place, you need death. Yavamis is only when the brother dies and he has no children, you need death. So therefore it goes Miperonius Leperonius, right? So So therefore, they want to be mafsik in between. So what do they put? That's what they put. So very geschmack. As we end the Masechta, now we can finish the Masechta. As we end the Masechta, This is the Gemara. We're going to end on a positive note. So Amar Rav Chia Barashi, Amar Rav, Talmidei Chachamim, Ein Lehem Menucha Afil Lo'olam Haba. Talmidei Chachamim, they don't even have menucha in the next world. Shneimar Yelchu Meichar El Choyol Yireh Elokim Tzion. They're constantly elevating, they're constantly going up and growing and going stronger and stronger, even in the next world. Now there's two machlokes rishonim. There's an opinion that you can't get higher, right? So what it means over here that you're going from 1 mile in Shemayim to see HaKadosh Baruch Hu and back and forth. In other words, you're in a certain partition, and in that partition you can go back and forth and have a craving to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. There's another opinion that Torah can elevate you even from Shana. So the biggest nichum that we have is that we have Torah. Death is, if you have no Torah, death is the end. There's nothing. If you have Torah, you know that Lachem from Shana. The one thing you'll take with us, guys, is all the Bez Hashem, the thousands and thousands and thousands dafim of that you were zeicha to finish. Bez Hashem will take with us. I just need a masechta with a siyum on it. No, it doesn't have a siyum on there. Or maybe, or do you want to? Okay, I have one. Okay, so therefore, Hajj Allah Feilu Megalchim Sikam Masechta Moed Katan. So Hajjalach Moed Katan v'Hajjalon Daitachalon Masechta Moed Katan v'Daitachalon and the Snashim Milach Masechta Moed Katan but the Snashim Milon Lo Momedim v'Asei Hajjalach Masechta Moed Katan v'Hajjalon Daitachalon Masechta Moed Katan v'Daitachalon and the Snashim Milach Masechta Moed Katan like the Snashim Milon Lo Momedim v'Asei Hajjalach Masechta Moed Katan v'Hajjalon Daitachalon Masechta Moed v'Daitachalon and the Snashim Milach Masechta Moed Katan and the Snashim Milon Lo Momedim v'Asei. Here some Fenecha Adnei Leheinu v'Alei Avasenu Sheteitu Orsechel Mesenu v'Lamazeh. Chanina bar Papa, Romi bar Papa, Nachman bar Papa, Achay bar Papa, Abamori bar Papa, Rafma bar Papa, Rachish bar Papa, Sucha bar Papa, Adam bar Papa, Dora bar Papa. Harv no Adnei Leheinu v'Stiru Say Raschel B'Fino B'Fios Amchabei Yisrael. V'Nei Kulona Nachtu v'Tzatzainu v'Tzatzem Amchabei Yisrael. Kulona Yeshemecha v'Enter Secha Mi'Over Techmeni B'Srach Yilam Yili. Yili Tam Mechukecha L'Man Le'Vash. L'Olam Le'Dasha Pekudecha Kivam Kirsani. Baruch Ato Adnei L'Mechukecha Amen 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 Salaved. Whether Mechel Fenecha Adnei Leheinu v'Alei Avasenu Shesanto Chenu V'Yoshe B'Samidrash Shesanto Chenu V'Yoshe Kronas. Anu mashkim v'hem mashkim. Anu mashkim l'dvei Torah v'hem mashkim l'dvar metelim. Anu melim v'hem amenim. All melim become schachar. V'hem melim become schachar. Anu ratzim v'hem ratzim. Anu ratzim l'chayolim haba v'hem ratzim v'shachas. Shnemar v'yate el him tavinu v'shachas. Anshim damim mirma l'zechus v'hem v'ani v'achakvach. Here's some fenecha adnei l'hai kishem she'asan v'sayim v'sechem Moed Katan. Kein tatzin l'haskim v'sechem v'sor machayim l'saymam. Lo mod olame lishma las l'chaim as kol d'yisrael v'sechem v'yava. V'schus kol tanaim v'roim v'tam v'chacham yam li l'zari. Shlei tamush ha'torim piyu. V'pizari v'zarazari ma'adolam. The sky be Besalacha Tancha Ischa, Beshacha Betishmalacha, Akitsasi Sichecha, Kivi, Yibu, Yemecha, Yesilacha Shaskayim, Arachiam Bemina, Besmala Shabchavad, and they obviously retain and lay Varechasam Mashma. How far you have? Okay, have this, have the, these guys. Yisparach, Yishtabach, Yisparach, Yisman, Yisnasei, Yisadov, Yisalam, Yisalosh, Med Bishop, Yelam, Kol Bachas, Shirasot, Pasan Nechamasa, Adimirav, Amen. Myself, I'm an Tamidei, and Kol Tamidei, Samidei, and Velkomon, Daskim, Beraisa, Dibasra, David, Dibachal, Savasar, Yelam, Konshal, Rabba, Chin, Vechisrach, and Chaim, Richim, Zan, Revi, for Konam, Kodam, Bodishmai, Rabbi, Rosh, Amen. Yeshlan, Roshmai, Chaim, Tovin, because of Rabbi, Amen. I said, Shalom ben Ramah, who Yashtam Alain, I'll call you so well, be Amen. Okay, guys. So Mazel talk to the boys. Mazel the boys. Mazel tov. Okay, good.
White hair is catchy.
What's happening?
White hair
Makes it wow, Rumi, that's such a big yarmulke you have.
Thank you.
So nice.
You're not missing. You're coming in for David. You're coming in for your